Hello again. I guess we're making up for lost time here with the wine videos. This afternoon, and I'm inside because it's really hot out, so I think it's better to be inside. We're having a Chianti. Now, this is a Chianti Classico by Giusto and Rentennano, who's the producer in Tuscany. And I'm going to talk, this is a 2017. I'm going to talk a little bit about this property, San Giusto. The land used to be owned by the Ricasoli family. Ricasoli, very famous Chianti names, and they actually set up the definition of what a Chianti Classico was back 150 years ago. Anyway, this passed to this family through marriage a bit over 100 years ago, and it became the San Giusto property, the San Giusto, if you want, label. The way I got to know this wine, and not necessarily directly this one, is a couple of years ago I tasted a San Giusto wine called La Ricolma. It was 100% Merlot. I tasted it at a local wine tasting, and I don't like Merlot, you know, for whatever reason. I mean, we'll get into that, and I think we talked about this before, but that wine just knocked me out. I bought a bottle right away. It was very expensive, but I figured, you know, I had to have it. And I started looking into this property, San Giusto, and it turns out they are in Tuscany. They have a very small lot of Merlot. They make some primarily Sangiovese wines. They have a Chianti Classico like this, which is 95% Sangiovese and 5% Canaiolo, sorry. They make a Riserva, which is 97% 3%. It's called Baroncole, and they make an IGT, a Tuscan wine, 100% Sangiovese as well, that has its own Percalo, I think it has its name. So very high quality wines. The prices are higher than everybody else at each step of the ladder, but I thought it was worth it given what I tasted when I tasted the Merlot. So I bought a few Classicos and a few Riservas, and this is the first one we're having here. It's a 2017, which was a difficult year because it was uneven and it was very dry. Then it rained a lot in the summer, but the good properties did, you know, made good wines with the right kind of thinning and the right picking and discarding, you know, sort of the stuff that wasn't evenly ripened and all that kind of stuff. So here we see the result of that. It's pretty dark, like Chiantis can be. We know that young Chiantis can be very sort of dark red, and it's sort of a little bit opaque. This is slightly filtered, they call it lightly filtered, and it's organic. For the last 15 years, the property has been organic. The color is typical Chianti. On the nose, you get alcohol. This is 14.5% alcohol, so you do get that. You also get the sour cherry, sort of, that's typical also of the Sangiovese and the Chianti wines. And it's a nice mix of the alcohol and the fruit. It still feels reasonably young, you know, because obviously it is, and it's got that sort of still a little bit closed in, but it's expressive. I mean, it's not totally closed. And you know, you see the alcohol on the legs here on the wine, and I think it's to be expected again. In the mouth, the fruit is predominant. The alcohol doesn't really, it's very fine tannin. So you do get the mouth puckering a little bit from the tannin. It does go pretty quickly though. And the finish, you don't have the finish really in your throat if you want, but it stays on your tongue. And it's sort of alcohol, the cherry, and almost like a little bit of that licorice candy. Maybe it's not licorice, but some candy like that. It's just overall, it's one of those wines that I would call really delicious. It's very tasty. It's young, but it's drinkable right away. It could keep for a while. I think that despite the price, which is, you know, over 30 bucks, and again, it's not a lot, but it's for a Chianti Classico, it's higher than others, I would definitely buy more, knowing that this is something that's made with the utmost quality. I think all the years are going to be good, all the vintages are going to be good, and it's something that could be enjoyable with the, you know, pizza, pasta, or with anything else along the way. I really like it. I'm looking forward to tasting one of the Merlots together one of these days when they're ready. But this is a nice property to get to know. And if you look at their website, this is in an old, you know, castle. It goes back hundreds of years, and the cellar is this sort of the underground of the castle. I mean, you know, it's kind of one of those things that literally you read about in books. So maybe there's a visit there somewhere in my future. Cheers, and see you soon.